Hi, welcome to Take 5, where we daily consider devotional thoughts from Oswald Chambers' book, My Utmost for His Highest. Today is May 30th, and the title of today's devotional is, Yes, but, Lord, I will follow you, but, Luke 9, verse 61. Chambers begins by asking, suppose God tells you to do something that is an enormous test of your common sense, totally going against it. What will you do? Will you hold back? Did something right then come to your mind? It's often crossed your mind. You know it's from God, but you continue to argue it down with logic or common sense as it not being the rational move for you. Chambers works to dispel that argument from a different vantage point. If you get into the habit of doing something physically, you will do it every time you are tested until you break the habit through sheer determination. Are you familiar with the idea that it takes around 30 days of repetition to form or break a habit? Is that applicable to the spiritual? Chambers affirms so, and the same is true spiritually. Again and again, you will come right up to what Jesus wants, but every time you will turn back at the point of true testing until you are determined to abandon yourself to God in total surrender. This is the key to obedience, total abandonment to Christ in all things. O.C. reminds us, yet we tend to say yes, but. We seem to continually set boundaries on our obedience to God. We will go thus far and no farther in our commitment to His directions. Continuing O.C.'s analogy, Jesus Christ demands the same unrestrained, adventurous spirit in those who have placed their trust in Him that the natural man exhibits. If a person is ever going to do something worthwhile, there will be times when he must risk everything by his leap into darkness. In the spiritual realm, Jesus Christ demands that you risk everything you hold on to or believe through common sense and leap by faith into what He says. Once you obey, you will immediately find that what He says is as solidly consistent as common sense. Boiling down what Chambers says, it comes to, you won't know unless you try it. No one can learn to swim without getting wet. Chambers continues to explain, by the test of common sense, Jesus Christ's statements may seem mad, but when you test them by the trial of faith, your findings will fill your spirit with the awesome fact that they are the very words of God. Nothing that God says will sound credible without first committing to Him. Afterwards, it will make sense, but not before. You do realize why Peter sank, don't you? It's because he thought about it. Chambers encourages us to trust completely in God, and when He brings you to a new opportunity of adventure, offering it to you, see that you take it. We understand Chambers' remarks better if they are placed in context as addressing men and women having been called into missionary work to countries far away. Yet his words as well address those questioning the idea of faith in Jesus as Savior. In Luke 9, it was seen by those type of people whom the Lord was receiving excuses from as to why they couldn't lay down everything and follow Him. I love Chambers' closing sentence. We act like pagans in times of crisis. Only one out of an entire crowd is daring enough to invest his faith in the character of God. Though regarded to be Christians, at least by name association to those around them, when it comes to times of trials, troubles, or temptation, we often behave as pagans, those having never heard of the living mighty God. Faith proves itself when tested. Chambers describes the one who holds firm in faith and obedience as daring. What a beautiful description. They dare to invest faith in God because they see His character to be more genuine and desirable than to succumb to the trials of temptations they face. Joseph, Abraham's great-grandson, said it well. How then could I do this great evil and sin against God? What a bold, daring move to stand firm against temptation when doubting or failing would be so easy. That's faith. If you haven't yet read today's devotional from Dr. Chambers' book, I encourage you to do so, for it will enhance the time that we spend together. It's available free online. Please share prayer requests, comments, and questions. Thanks for being here, and now may God's grace and peace be ours as we seek to live our utmost for His highest. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye now.